The Honourable Speaker of Parliament, former President, His Excellency Ratu and Atikau, Honourable Government Ministers and Assistant Ministers, the Deputy British High Commissioner to Fiji, Mr. Paul Wells, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Sambulare, and a very good morning to you all. It is my great honour to host you today as we commemorate the International Commonwealth Day 2022. The celebration of one of the world's oldest intergovernmental organizations is an opportune time for members to collectively commit to this year's Commonwealth Day theme, delivering a common future, by focusing on matters that affect us all, such as climate change, promoting good governance, trade, and boosting relations. I strongly believe that our family of 54 sovereign nations, the Commonwealth, has a part to play through initiatives in the political and socio-economic development sphere. Fiji, with other small island states, continue to amplify the challenges of climate change, even though we represent a small portion of the Commonwealth's 2.5 billion people. As we strive to achieve a common rewarding future, I believe that success can become a reality if we strengthen our collaborative efforts in addressing the pressing issues we face today as a Commonwealth family, given our shared history and long-standing friendship instead of individual nations. This year's celebration of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Jubilee year affirms leadership and service in its finest. Her Majesty's 7 decades of service and commitment to the citizens of the Commonwealth witnessed many unprecedented events that no other reigning monarch had. Faced with these uncertain and adverse moments in history, Her Majesty's quiet strength, resilience, and unwavering commitment to her calling are valued to be emulated. Long may she reign. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad today we celebrate Commonwealth Day in person, and I hope that we are seeing the signs of a new light of uninterrupted recovery since COVID-19 pandemic entered our Fiji borders. At this juncture, I wish to acknowledge the frontliners, medical professionals, and personnel across the Commonwealth who dedicated and committed themselves to the protection of the Commonwealth citizens from the effects of COVID-19. The pandemic has magnified our vulnerabilities to climate change and natural disasters, external economic shocks, consequent loss of employment and livelihood, and difficulties in accessing external capital for sustainable socio-economic recovery, as well as test our resolve in addressing multiple crises to impact our global community. But there is hope, as our history has shown us that multilateral cooperation is the most effective response to addressing total global challenges. With the rise of nationalism and self-interest, the Commonwealth, like Her Majesty, remains a beacon of hope and a promise to a better future. Today, we celebrate unity, diversity, and shared values of effort as Commonwealth family. We also celebrate joint commitment in the promotion of peace, prosperity, to improve the lives of the Commonwealth. This year, we welcome the reconvening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in June. It's an opportunity for our leaders to assess our progress and re-strategize in order to develop, coordinate, and implement solutions to pressing global challenges. Last month, the State House was privileged to host the Birmingham 2022 Queen's Baton Relay. We look forward to the Commonwealth Games this year. In conclusion, all aspects of the global landscape since the first Commonwealth Day has changed. Given the era of changing socio-economic circumstances and uncertainty we live in now, we as a Commonwealth need now more than ever to be innovative, resilient, and tenacious in how we address political, economic, socio-cultural, environment, and other external influences that affect us. This can only become a reality through our policies, legislation, consultation, and cooperation focused on the common interests and welfare of our people while aiming for world peace and prosperity. May God bless Her Majesty, the Queen, and the Commonwealth.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Fiji, Ratu Wiliame, Katonivere, and Madam First Lady, Your Excellency, the Deputy High Commissioner of the British High Commission, Mr. Paul Welsh, Your Excellency, the former President and Speaker of Parliament, Ratu Latikau, Honorable Cabinet Ministers and Members of Parliament, Excellencies, Head of Missions, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Ambulubinaka, it is my greatest pleasure and honor to share a few words on this occasion of celebrating the 2022 Commonwealth Day. Today, the Commonwealth of Nations spans over 54 countries with a population of 2.5 billion people. And I and other 29-year-olds and below make up 60% of that population. In a world where multilateralism is under threat, nationalism and self-interest is on the rise, and as we grapple with global challenges from COVID-19 pandemic to climate change, the Commonwealth stands as a beacon of hope and promise for young people. The Commonwealth offers opportunities to bridge the deepening divide in our increasingly interconnected world and to build and shape a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable societies. Young people are critical in these efforts, and you can count on our enthusiasm, passion, innovative ideas, and creative solutions to solve some of the greatest and complex challenges of our time. Here at home and across the Pacific, the climate crisis has proven to be far-reaching, affecting every fabric of our way of life, threatening the livelihoods, well-being, and security of entire communities, and an issue which will disproportionately affect my generation and future generations. Young people are rising to this challenge, and through networks such as the Commonwealth Youth Climate Network, they are sharing information, experiences, expertise, building capacities in their endeavors to address climate change and other environmental issues. Within the Commonwealth countries here in the Pacific, we see youth networks such as the Pacific Climate Warriors, the Alliance for Future Generations, WWF Pacific Volunteers, Utonialo Volunteers, and many other grassroots-led groups taking the charge of demanding an end to climate inaction, holding polluters responsible, and leading practical, scalable climate initiatives on the ground.
They have demonstrated a tremendous capacity to grasp the reality of the climate crisis and mobilize crucial support for climate action across groups, sectors, and nations.
I also take this opportunity to share the work being led by a homegrown youth climate network, the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change, who are campaigning to seek an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on the issue of climate change and human rights. Vanuatu, a member of the Commonwealth, has decided to take this campaign forward. And earlier this month, the Caribbean community, CARICOM leaders, expressed their support for Vanuatu in pursuit of this campaign. This presents an opportunity for Commonwealth members in the Pacific and across the world to rally behind the campaign and demonstrate the shared values and our collective efforts to cement the consensus on the science behind climate change, leading to more ambitious climate action and integrating climate law and human rights law. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, This campaign demonstrates the determination of young people and the opportunities that can further be unlocked with the support of their national governments, development partners, and communities. Young people are the future of the Commonwealth. Make us an equal partner, create a seat at the table for us, and we will help deliver the promise of building a better future for all. May we find strength in our diversity, hope in our young leaders, and may we be bound together by the sense that the Commonwealth is a powerful influence for good. May our common purpose be an inspiration to humanity as we strive together in our shared ambition for the future. May God bless the Commonwealth, and may God bless Fiji. Nakavakalip.
Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, Speaker of Parliament, former President Pelin Alatikau, Honourable Ministers, Assistant Ministers, Members of Parliament, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. It is my very, very great honour to read out a message from Her Majesty the Queen on the occasion of Commonwealth Day. It begins. In this year of my Platinum Jubilee, it has given me pleasure to renew the promise I made in 1947 that my life will always be devoted in service. Today, it is rewarding to observe a modern, vibrant and connected Commonwealth that combines a wealth of history and tradition with the great social, cultural and technological advances of our time. That the Commonwealth stands ever taller is a credit to all who have been involved. We are nourished and sustained by our relationships, and throughout my life I have enjoyed the privilege of hearing what the relationships built across the great reach and diversity of the Commonwealth have meant to people and communities. Our family of nations continues to be a point of connection, cooperation and friendship. It is a place to come together to pursue common goals and the common good, providing everyone with the opportunity to serve and benefit. In these testing times, it is my hope that you can draw strength and inspiration from what we share as we work together towards a healthy, sustainable and prosperous future for all. And on this special day for our family, in a year that will include the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting and the Commonwealth Games, I hope that we can deepen our resolve to support and to serve one another and endeavour to ensure the Commonwealth remains an influential force for good in our world for many generations to come. Signed, Elizabeth R.